Hello, everybody. You're welcome to another episode of Coffee and Beans with Adesola Balogun. My name is Adesola Balogun, your host, of course, and I try my best to bring the best African entrepreneurs to share their stories. And on this particular episode, I'm excited to bring to you Mr. Jegs, Mr. Samuel Jegede, the CEO of Fruity Life and the visionary and the convener of School of Growth Africa. So welcome to the pod, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a funny story. I was telling him behind the before the mics came on that I have been a fan of your product. I mean, there's no you would have walked. We would have walked together on the streets, and I would never have known that. Oh, that's Mr. Jegede, the CEO of Fruity Life. The fact that I'm a fan of your products. The parfait and the salad. There's a parfait that had the chocolate one, and so in fact, so when people, if you have anybody complain, like I'm literally one of your people that allowed your product, and then the fact that he's sitting right across me is just amazing how life works. So welcome again to the podcast. Yes, I'm very, very happy for you to be here. Now we'll just dive in. I mean, last week, I attended the School of Growth Africa, and it's like a school. It's supposed to be like is it like an answer to the LBS? Because I know you're an LBS alumnus. So how did, before we get into the business of Fruity Life, how did the idea for School of Growth Africa come about? And guys, I must tell you, School of Growth, they brought some heavy CEOs to share their stories, and they are people that you literally have to pay millions for them to speak, and see them speaking freely, answering questions from their heart. How did that come about?
Once again, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're a good man. Okay, so School of Growth. So before the mics came on, I mentioned that I registered a business called Changemaker Events in 2008. So I wanted to just make changes. I've always been the guy who wants to do something about it. If there's something troubling me, what can we do about it? How can we improve people's minds, etc. So I found out that to change the world, you can't do it on an empty stomach. It costs money to organize events that will change people's minds. Just like School of Growth. Yeah. So I decided I'll go into business and come back. Right. So I registered. I started, doing drinks. Then went into, Fruity Life business. Many years later, we wanted to launch our yogurt brand. I then said, I like tying a product, especially one I know that has good prospect. Yeah, I like tying it to a cause, as it were. Right. So the parfait, for example, sends some children to school. Okay. Right. While the yogurt, I said, what can we do with this? I said, okay, let's impact lives. We wanted to give grants. I went, prayed about it, and I was told to pause, right? Then we said, okay, we can still impact knowledge. Then we started School of Growth. We started the first one. I'm privileged to have some mentors and people who think me as valuable, and those people are doing well in life, right? So I then said, hey, I can create a platform where what I'm learning from these guys, they can pass it on, to many other people. Many of these guys don't have the opportunity to teach, or don't get invited enough because they are dialed in on their work. Yeah, on their work. So yes, that's how School of Growth started. It was just how do we improve Africa? What kind of Africa do we want to give back to the next generation? I think it's very important. The Africa we are dealt, the Nigeria we are dealt, I don't think is what we want to pass on. So like I say, I'm a faith-based person. Yeah. So I say if Jesus tarries, the kind of Africa that we want to hand over should not be what we were dealt.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
I mean, I admire the fact that your vision is for Africa. Like you're looking beyond Nigeria as a just as a country. Because I mean, we are Nigerians. We are businessmen in Nigeria, but you're passionate about Africa, passionate about African entrepreneurs. Yeah. So I'm very curious to know how that like where that passion for Africa itself, like where did it come from? I mean, how many countries in Africa have you been to?
Not too many. Just 2.
Yeah. So why the focus on Africa? I mean, most people will say, they want to have a global appeal, global approach. But I see that you're really passionate about Africa, its potentials, its entrepreneurs. I mean, this is supposed to be, this question I'm about to ask is going to be like a duh question, but why Africa? Like why what's it about Africa that you're passionate about giving back?
Okay. Good question. What is it about Africa? Africa has resources. So it's not a resource problem.
Yeah.
Human resource, mineral, we have resources. I think it's not really about money. Africa has money, and what can give it money? So if you dial down and you ask the why of the why, you get to find out that it's a knowledge problem. So Africa has rich potential. We've always been that land that has potential. But whatever is left of the potential is being tapped by others.
Yeah.
I'm not against that if Africans benefit from it.
Right.
So our politicians would have been in the best position to help out. And I found out that many of them inherited policies that they can't change, as it were. So I think we need to start looking for our own solutions, and not a violent one. It's not free the black man. No, that's not it. How can we have a seat at the table? Yeah. It's very important to ask. That's number one. Why Africa is because we are rich in resources, but we lack knowledge.
Right.
So if we can impart knowledge and we have more African businesses do well, attract funding, Africa becomes buoyant. It gets to a point that businessmen can come together and say, hey, Mr. Politician, these are some of the things we've seen, and we think you can do better.
Right.
Businessmen can come together and sponsor somebody who they think is doing well, of any party whatsoever, somebody who can do the job,
right,
and they can be decision makers, better put. So it may not be instant, it may be 5 years, 10 years, it may even be 20 years, but if you don't start. So, and the reason why the School of Growth was free was you don't have an excuse not to participate, except you don't qualify at all. Because, so when you're trying to save, someone, you look for the one that is most intense, that needs medical help immediately. When they rush people, which one needs to go to the ER? So we want people who have already started business and are just looking for how to scale. Not people who have not started at all. When you have skin in the game, the essence of School of Growth is to help you grow. So once you grow, that means, and to grow past the 10-year mark. In fact, I dare say to grow past 50, 100-year mark. The implication of that is there'll be more jobs, you create more jobs, there's room for growth within your organization. Africa and Africans become buoyant. And the Africa we will now hand over to the next generation will be way better. And if Africa, this is where we call home, so we have to develop it, right? They said a man, I'll paraphrase, but a man of foresight is one who plants a tree whose shade he will not sit under.
That he's thinking sustainability. He's thinking ahead.
Children's children.
Yeah.
So we got to start. We've been selfish, see where it got us.
Yeah.
So can we be selfless and start something for the next generation? So that's why Africa. Amazing. We have the resources, we need the knowledge.
Amazing. I mean, there was a rich faculty, rich in terms of experience and knowledge that, you know, they were able to display. And I mean, that shows to me, I mean, that's a pointer to the fact that you're very big on collaboration.
Yeah.
You're very big on, I mean, you bring your knowledge, I bring my knowledge. How do we get entrepreneurs in Africa, especially, to collaborate more? Because I find that is one thing that we are not very big on. That's one thing that we are not very. It's not our strong point. Everybody wants to create your own ecosystem, but how do we get entrepreneurs to think more on a larger scale towards the greater goal?
Well, how do we get them? Most entrepreneurs who don't like collaborating, maybe they've heard funny stories about partnerships.
Oh, that's still my idea.
I have one. You know, my mom brought on somebody in a business, I think brick making business, and the person went behind her, you know, so that, you know, brought the fear of, hey, partnership, the wrong partner. And you told me of somebody, you know, who partnered with somebody in Lekki. Yeah.
I mean, and then that too went south. Yes.
You know, so one has to be careful. So, but if we are going to go ahead, go as far as possible, we need partnership.
Yeah.
How we can?
Yeah. How do we get past? How do we get past that fear? That fear, I know that fear is real because I as a fashion entrepreneur, I've gone to meet people. Oh, let's do this together. Oh, good idea, and everybody's out. Like they don't like. I don't like, you know. And even when you sell the data, I mean, each person will have a piece of the pie. You know, together we can do more. It just doesn't seem to sink in.
Africans, I think we've been taught to be selfish. If you go back, you see that some kings were selling their kingsmen for mirrors. You know, so I think it was intentionally or unintentionally ingrained. That fear was ingrained, planted in the minds of Africans. But just like anything good that needs collaboration, we'll have to come together, you know, to do it and set aside differences.
Yeah.
We may need to get legal representation. That's why knowledge is important. I want to go into partnership with this person. Every I is dotted, every T crossed.
Yeah.
You know, so I think getting legal, then asking important questions. What are the values of this person that I want to go into partnership with? People change, right?
Yeah.
People kill each other over businesses. It happens everywhere in the world. But many times, people that I've seen that went very far were partners, you know, just two young boys, two young girls, you know, just like the Google boys.
Yeah.
And we have many of them in Africa now coming up. I think that generation that was afraid is passing. Yeah. People are now...
It's a new crop of
there's
people.
a new crop of people that don't see that as a limitation. So they reinforce each other's strengths. They cover each other's weaknesses. Right? So I think for the generation that is afraid, I think they need to know that, hey, do we want 100%? And you need to sell it. You need to make them feel comfortable. You need to make people understand that you are not that former partner.
Yeah.
You need to know the values of the person you are speaking to. Because more often than not, I'm not saying every time, more often than not, you see the person show some traits that are not
in line
with your values.
With your values, very true.
But you excuse it away that that's for another person. That's another part. Yeah, it can't happen.
Very
to
true.
me.
Very true.
We feel like we have it all together, and we are the protagonists who always, things will always be rosy. Even for married couples going into business, they need a lawyer. They need to sign. This is how this is conflict resolution. God forbid any divorce. But this is conflict resolution in our organization. Do we agree? And more often than not, it should be when there is peace and sanity. Not when you're fighting. That's when you're trying to, come together.
Like they say, you don't prepare for war in times of war. You prepare for war in times of peace. Yeah.
So yes, we may need to overcome that hump. And see, let me tell you, the world will leave you behind if you are afraid of it. If you know that somebody has a strength and can gain from you, maybe the person has the resources, you have a great idea.
Yeah.
The person has a skill and you have the resources and a great idea. Go ahead and do it. Just know that, hey, what's the worst that will happen? We make some money and we split. Fine. But people who know how to spot talent, give them a stake in the pie. Yeah. Right? They go further because when you are the only one trying to solve multiple issues, these guys are taking on different positions. They are taking some things off each other. Let me take that. I'll speak to this person. So 5 people are addressing an issue. It will be solved faster. Yeah. They'll go further. While you are still trying to meet one person, then booking another meeting with another person. So the pros are more than the con nowadays, as long as the values are aligned. That's my answer right now. Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's go to Footy Life business. When they introduced you as the CEO of Footy Life, I'm like, I was expecting a lady. To be honest,
I hear that a lot.
I thought the CEO of Footy Life was a lady.
Yeah.
How did Footy Life come about? From Changemaker events to selling drinks, how did that evolve into what we know as Footy Life right now?
Okay, so Changemaker event.
Yes.
Wanted to change the world, then found out that to change the world you need resources. So I started, with, I think it was an epiphany, like a moment of realization that I can do these drinks. I've had affinity, with mixing stuff, trying to find out how things turn out.
Right.
Then I said, can I pursue this? Right. Maybe because I was broke also.
That's how my business started. So we're in good company.
Good company, right? So I said, can I pursue this? Then I went, took some lessons from a man in I think in Obasanjo Farms, how to make drinks, how to do this.
What kind of drinks? Like cocktails?
Yeah, cocktails.
Oh, okay.
So started doing cocktails and mocktails actually.
Mocktails, yes.
Mocktails in slush, in dispensers, etc. Then I said, we can add smoothie to it. Somebody mentioned smoothie. I said, that's true. We can add smoothie to this. Then we started doing smoothie. Then it kept growing like that until, so our first business was in Covenant University. Then our first Lagos store. We went to Landmark University. Then our first Lagos store was in Ikeja City Mall. I think that's what blew everything out. So in the whole of Ikeja City Mall, there was no smoothie store, right?
Oh, okay.
At that time. So I've been trying to get a space in there for like a year plus. Trying to get a space in there. Then when we started our Landmark store, somebody called me, hey, there's a store here, it's so $1,000, yada, yada per month. I didn't have it, so by faith, came up with the money within 2 days and we started. And I think it was upward and forward from there, from the mocktails, the smoothies, the parfait now, and yogurt.
Yeah, salads. I mean,
salads.
You have. Yogurt. I mean, Fruit Life salad. The Fruit Life salad is one of the very best.
Thank you very much.
That I've had.
Thank you.
You don't do mocktails anymore.
We do in our university stores.
Okay.
We have in Redeemers, Landmark, Covenant. We do mocktails there, but in our Lagos stores, Lagos and Abuja presence. We don't have a store in Abuja, but we have presence there. We just do the parfaits, the fresh juices. Even though we've heard people say, "Man, you need to bring the mocktail back to Lagos. You need to bring it this," But we understand the import of streamlining in Lagos.
Yeah. Well, when Free Life started, were you thinking of because there was a fad back then of the health, eat healthy, drink healthy. Was that what you had in mind?
Sincerely, I just wanted to give. So there are 4 things on our vision statement.
Right.
It's healthy and delicious products that are accessible and affordable.
Healthy, delicious, accessible, affordable. Yeah.
That's up. So we just wanted something delicious. So we just wanted something delicious.
Okay.
And that was healthier than what you could get outside. So for example, if you Chicken Republic or The Place restaurant or a Mega Chicken in a corner street,
No.
inside one estate somewhere.
No.
They're always on the highway where a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
So people get it wrong by trying to start small. Let me start in one corner somewhere. So high traffic locations are always the best. So we started with high traffic locations.
Okay.
Then we could give people premium stuff. Then as we kept spreading, we kept doing backward integration.
Okay.
How can we get it cheaper? So we started as premium. But the goal was always to sell things cheaper. I will be the cheapest.
Okay.
How can we? Okay, our granola, we started making it. Our yogurt, we started making it. Everything. How can we go further back? And if you see our parfait, it comes in a paper pack, right?
Yes.
A paper carrier.
Yes.
And not many people give you. I don't think such.
They most likely give you a nylon or something.
A nylon, right?
Yes.
So, but that paper, that's also branding. We kept doing backward integration. Who are the people that, can do this? Okay, there was even one that partnered with, more or less bought like a machine for him from some of our orders. So we paid in advance, as it were. So the prices are very low. We try to keep prices very low. So that's really it. Every cost element, if properly, pulled down, if you do proper backward integration, you can ensure that you sell the most affordable of that class. And we are not only profit driven.
Okay.
So when some people want to make 50%, 60% off something, you may be comfortable with 15-20%.
That goes against every business.
Yeah, because it's a law of large numbers.
Large numbers, yeah.
So when people can trust you, that, hey, these guys have my back. These guys, like there's this just unspoken, before you even knew it was me, before we met each other, you were speaking well for us.
Yes.
Or well of us and
of the brand.
Of the brand.
Yes.
So customers can tell, like, these people care. Yeah, they care. The brand is okay. You come in, the ambience is above decent.
Yes.
Above decent, So customers eventually can tell that these guys care.
Yeah. What's the science behind? For those of us maybe outside Africa, like you're listening from Europe, Fruity Life has this cube type. So I thought this was like, because the first time I saw ahead of your brand or interacted with your brand, it was in a mall.
Yeah.
So I figured, maybe space constraints is the reason why you did that. But I found out that that's literally like the modus operandi of all your locations.
Yeah.
Small cube box. Yeah. What was the science behind doing that? Is that also part of the cost implication, or is it more of a let's just manage here type of situation?
Well, I think it's cost really.
Yeah.
initially we found out that real estate is expensive in Lagos.
Yep.
And the kind of product we are selling does not need so much real estate. People just want to walk in, cute place, you know. And a lot of people were taking brick and mortar, really massive places. But you have to know your strategy, what works for you. If you are raising a lot of money, fine. You know, you have money to spend here and there. Why not, if not? But if you are not raising money and you have to bootstrap, then you have to go back to the drawing board. Something, someone recently told me, he said, innovation of itself doesn't just come. It is strategy that births innovation. So you know that this is where you want to get to. You want to move from point A to point B. Do I have the resources to get to point B right now? Maybe not. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to go to point A, point 1. Then I will expand at point A, point 1, get more resources, then go to point. So it was just the necessity that birthed that innovation. Right. So we saw that if we calculate in small square meters, in visible locations, so many of the places are very visible. Yes. But they look small. But our signage is massive.
Yes, it's a very colorful signage.
So we are even doing better than if we were inside.
Very true.
Right? Yeah. The store. So it's knowing what works. Yeah. When you can find out from the customer, once you can sit down and say, what do customers really want? Do they want to park and go inside, walk, climb upstairs? No. So upstairs is out of it. Right? Take, for example, one of the malls here, right? And somebody said, oh, I think you can go upstairs. This place is free. I said, no. So we saw one open space. Yeah. And we kept negotiating and said, hey, you guys are here to make money, right? And this place is available. And can we send a 3D? It was no, it's not possible. Let's send a 3D. Let's see if it works for you. So by the time you see our designs, you know that, okay, this is really nice. Yeah. Right? And, at that point, you have to look for a common ground quickly when it comes to the amount you're meant to pay. Right? You can't argue too much.
Because even he's trying to even convince them to.
So you can't argue too much. So, and I won't say we stumbled on it because we just found out real estate is small. Initially it was come pick up. Then people wanted to chill and sit down. Yeah. Then we kept expanding. And that's with each expansion, it reinforces the former. So with each expansion, people say, oh, I saw this in Lekki. I saw this in Adesola. Okay, let me try it out. With each expanded, it keeps reinforced. So your customers grow and you gain their trust.
So Footy Life is always outside. As in Footy Life, all Footy Life outlets are outside.
Well, except Ikeja City Mall. That is the mall with the highest foot traffic in West Africa. I think that's the best performing even ShopRite, as it were. So it's at the heart. So when you enter the mall, once you go into the mall, like straight at the heart of the mall, that's where Footy Life is. So we do our best to be in high traffic places outside, or if it's inside, high traffic places.
Okay, let's talk about your product offerings. How do you develop your products, and how often do you do that? When do you know when to discontinue a product, or when to start a different brand of product? Like I said, the chocolate parfait is I haven't seen that anywhere. So that's what necessitated my question. How do you develop the product? Because like I said, parfait is parfait everywhere. Salad is salad. So how do you do that? How do you keep reinventing what we already know into and make yourself stand out from the pack?
Well, thank you for that. I'll say we do our best, to make sure that our products are delicious. So sometimes, let me ask you a question. Your best meal 10 years ago, is this still your best meal? No, good. So there are many food brands that got lost with time. and couldn't grow again and lost the bulk of their customers because they did not improve. So what we constantly do is to look for what new taste can we give while we are expanding. What can we give customers that will make them keep coming? Or can we give them something that will give us a totally different customer set? Right? Some people can come from for parfait. Some people only come for salads and juices. They don't take parfait. Some people take parfait, they can die for parfait, but they will never touch salad. Some people will come for juices and sandwiches alone. So the more you expand, I must say there are almost more dead products than the one you see there. So almost every month, you can ask any Fruity Life any Fruity Lifer, that's our staff. Ask any Fruity Lifer, say, how often do you do product development? It's almost every month. So we take out the underperforming product. That means customers are voting. Every time customer buys from you, they are voting. So they are voting that this is great, continue. If they're not buying that product and it's just taking the, each square meter counts in the store. So it must produce something. Each icing station, every single thing, each chiller, each space counts for something. It must draw customers in. So when we see that the product is underperforming, we ask why. We tweak. Might just be the shelf, the product life cycle. We are getting to the end of it, right? There are many products like that just died, and there are some people who stuck to a particular menu for too long. So the aim is to remove anything that is underperforming. Even if nothing is underperforming, what can we add? I mean, we had a series of meetings this week, and we did series of tastings. Just see your customer. See, everybody that walks in is a human being. When the management team tastes something and say, this one is it's not tasting great, we don't send it out. If we are sending it out, we send it to a place or two with high foot traffic. And then customer gives feedback and say, oh, this is really nice. Then we added tiger nut, we added wellness juices, we added like quite a number of things. And sometimes you take out a product. There was one, I will call it burrito or something, that wasn't doing well. We had to take it out. There are many other products that didn't even make the shelf.
I'm going to say, are there products that do better in some locations?
Oh yes.
Than others. So what do you do regarding that? You maintain that location, discontinue in the other.
No, we don't discontinue. We just reduce.
Reduce, okay.
Because we have to still produce it. There are one or two persons. Since things, if it doesn't cost extra, to sell it, why not?
Well,
if it doesn't cost extra to sell it, we can still put it there as long as that one or two customers like it. So our one of the things that I'm grateful for is that we are constantly looking, what is the next thing? What are customers asking for? What is the feedback? Because there is a principle: if you don't listen to your business, your business will talk to somebody else. I'm telling you, your businesses are always looking for people to listen. So you must listen to your business. I'm telling you, your business can tell you what to do. Your customers have your blueprint to the success you want. I promise you. Call all your customers, call them for a meeting, have a sit down, talk, and they will give you the blueprint of how to succeed. All the organizations, the Ubers of this world, the Airbnbs, the blueprint was with their customers. The Starbucks, they just listened. Oh, they want this. Okay, the blueprint is with your customers. So we listen and we do.
Okay, so for that entrepreneur who started with a product and that product gave them notoriety, gave them fame, but that product is suddenly not doing as well as, but they say, oh, stay true to your business, stay true to your core, stay true to what has given you the fortune that you earned, but you are saying now that, oh, okay, be willing to evolve, drop, continue, start, be as dynamic as possible. Where do we stay in the midst of things? Like, should we stay or should we drop? Should we continue and stick it out, or?
Okay, So Samsung started as a grocery shop.
Yeah, I heard that too.
If they stayed true to themselves, I don't know if they'll be able to compete with Walmart.
Well,
so
true.
Many brands started and morphed, right?
Yeah.
So I think that you should stay true to yourself when it comes to values, originality.
Yeah.
But ensure that the business is bigger than your ego. The business and your customers, the feedback is bigger than your ego.
Yeah.
So we started with mocktails in Ikeja City Mall.
City Mall, yeah.
And we're doing smoothies, and parfait came. People preferred parfait to smoothie.
That's you were listening to your business and people were buying more.
They preferred parfait to smoothie. There some will even blend their parfait rather than get fresh
smoothie.
Okay, is there something here? We probed. Then we did parfait. Then we became one of the best, in fact, the best parfait in Lagos.
Yeah.
Then we found out that it's our yogurt they like. Then you just keep listening and morphing.
But sir, in listening, are you not, for instance, now, this is what the customer wants. So I mean, I'll take it to what I do, fashion. I mean, we started in 2005 as a shirt company.
Yeah.
But of course, we've evolved.
I see you wearing trad now.
Yes,
very wonderful trad.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you made it.
Yes, of course. So we now do trad. But now you also find out that the same customers that are saying, can you do with the new Jacquard thing now, people are asking, can you do head warmers? Can you do jumpers? Can you do? But that is not. I mean,
that's not your strength.
You get. But in listening to the customer. If I do that, am I not deviating from the original intention of why the brand was set up?
Yeah, it's a fine balance for me. It's a fine balance. If we stuck with just mocktails, there will be no Fruity Life.
Of course. Absolutely.
So, in listening to the customers, it doesn't mean that you should jump on any fad or any trend, every trend. It should be based on your strength.
Yes.
As it were.
As it were, yeah.
So, for me, personally, I will suggest that if an overwhelming number of people are asking for that product, and you have the resources to do it, even if it's something temporary, you don't jump into it with both feet.
Yeah.
Do for one customer, say, hey, just like you told me about the shirt before the mic came on.
Yeah.
You did one shirt, then people started asking.
Yes.
So that means the shirt was good. Even EDs of global organizations
were asking for it. Yeah, we're wearing it. Yeah.
And what you wore during School of Growth, stood out.
Yes.
So you can just imagine that you just stuck with shirt and said, I'm not going to morph. You listened and said, hey, for this level that I am, maybe school or whatever, this is what they're asking for.
Yeah.
The bigger you go, you see, more items. More items.
Yeah.
So if you look at many brands, drinks, they keep
tweaking.
Morphing, they keep tweaking. They have a different brand. So you don't have to shut down the initial one. In fact, you can maybe put somebody in charge of it and give the person a target and say you must increase by 30% every year, so that you know that you're not just there to chill with my toil, right? I told, and you are just coming to lead. I'm the CEO of Outspoken. No, right? I'm the product manager in charge of the shirt department. No, I built it, keeps growing. But then you listen to your customer, you're doing trad. So if an overwhelming number of customers begin to ask for a thing, when we started, the parfait, we started, let's try it out. We did 10, out.
Went out.
We did 15. It got to a point that people were waiting and we had to be producing it in the store there and then. And we were, kept increasing. And we're like, there's something here.
We're onto something.
We're onto something. And by divine direction, like I said, I'm a man of faith. By divine direction, I got, we need to go in that direction. And we went there and doubled down.
Yeah.
And we did not regret it. And if we stuck to some of the things we started with, there would have been no fruity life. Because when you keep listening and keep adding, you have to have constant paranoia. You must always be paranoid.
Yeah, so.
My people say it. I've heard it from almost most billionaires I've heard say there is this you must have constant paranoia. I mean, always be paranoid to ensure that nobody comes to steal your product, and you must be the best at it. That paranoia makes you say, I've seen people start with a great product and it just goes down and they didn't change with times. But I'm not going to be that. Once you start seeing the curve, put somebody in charge of that. Hey, your task is to grow it. You move to the next one while you have resources to move. Because if you don't do it, it will be tougher in the future. Inflation will catch up, competition will be more. So you have to grow big or go home. You know, so listening to your customers doesn't mean jumping on every fad. Yeah. But you can ask, is there a market there? You know, is it just a minor thing that somebody just did? You know, some influencer can put something up, people rush it. So you must be able to analyze the situation. Is this a business or is this a product? Is it a product with a particular timeline? Imagine you jumped on a trend. Let me see. Okay, see, COVID, right? The shares of these guys, what are these guys? Zoom went up. Yeah. Out of the roof, you know. And now, oh my God, it's not very kind. I don't think the times are kind to them. Yeah. So if they sold themselves at that time, they would have just made money and moved out. So you have to know if it's a fact. Sometimes it's not easy to read. Yeah. But it's not. Sometimes you don't always have to do only the things you love. You do the responsible thing. Yeah. There is a need. I have the capacity to solve it. I'm gonna solve it. And if the capacity is going to take the bulk of my current resources, hey, I may need to soft pedal. How can I start? So it's constant monitoring, constant analysis till you get to the point where people are looking at you. Well, people fail. You can't tell me you've never failed at anything. Yeah, of course. You know, and you did your feasibility studies. You tried the MVP, was good, and boom, like, oh my God, reality is hitting. That there is not much business, or the approach that you're using wasn't the right approach. Yeah. So you have to monitor. But when you win big. That's the beauty.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you too.
We are heading to the end of the pod, but I'd like to ask. I mean, I always ask my guests, what's the next 5 years looking like for Footy Life? I work for Footy Life. I work for growth for School of Growth. So let's start for Footy Life.
The next 5 years. In all fairness, I think I would like to say the next 12 months. I know there's an organization that said they'll stop doing 10-year plan. They are doing it quarterly now. What can we do? Because you have to be nimble. You have to be agile.
Was it a post-COVID realization that
I think so. So you have to continually be agile, be nimble. You have to be quick, because if you don't adjust with the reality, it may be tough. So we want to keep growing.
Keep growing, yeah.
We know that online space, our presence, we need to do better. Okay. So we are growing that. Where we want to, our business is not just a Nigerian business, it's Africa.
It's an African business.
So there are 2 other countries in the works currently.
Sorry to interrupt. For those countries, will you adjust your product offering to accommodate fruits that are
in season there?
There, like fruits that are peculiar to those countries, or you want to carry the Nigerian flavor to?
There's a particular food brand. They came to Nigeria and said that they were not going to sell rice. If you know, you know. So they said we know. There's another pizza brand that said that they're just focusing on pizza.
And they're selling rice.
They're selling rice, small chops. Small chops. Yeah. The other brand that said, they're selling moi now. The brand that said they won't sell rice, they're selling rice, they're selling moi, selling plantain, etc. So I think when they say, people think it's just cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. Culture eats strategy for lunch.
It does.
So if you go to Cote d'Ivoire, for example, and you want to sell pepper jollof rice there, you will not sell. So they can put what we call rodo. That's not cayenne pepper.
I've forgotten the English name for actually.
So if you put this, I'll remember. If you put this pepper,
yes,
you know, they want the aroma of the pepper.
Of the pepper, yeah, but
they don't
not
want
the taste.
So they can put the whole one inside it.
Yeah.
Inside their food. I just found out they can put the whole thing inside their food so that it has
without chopping it up.
They're not chopping it up.
Yeah.
Then they remove it. When the food is done. So you must know the taste bud and adapt to it. That's what makes you global. So I say something. I say a global business is a lot of local business. So if you're trad, you go to Ghana and they like his style, you're going to adopt it.
Adopt it, yes.
You're going to adapt to. So there's something I learned recently also. Adaptability is the new stability. So what they say, before, a strategy can work for you for 50 years.
Yes.
But right now, adaptability is the new stability. Wow, it's a stable market. Is being able to adapt
to the changes.
It's now what makes you stable. As it were. So going to other countries, you must adapt to it and adapt fast. If not, they will vote the other way.
Yes. So for School of Growth, what's the long-term plan? Will it be how many cohorts do you intend to do per year?
Okay, so we intend to do 4 cohorts per year, and we hope to be in the 54 African countries.
Right.
We hope to do it quarterly in every African country.
The same faculty, or
no.
Or did you change?
So
you change
in different countries, there are people who are doing business and succeeding.
Right.
Even in the most affected war-torn countries, there are still successful people there.
True.
Are there ways we can gather people and teach them? So it's just a platform to pass knowledge. Because once you can pass knowledge and you can apply it properly, I promise you, give it 20, 30 years, things will be better.
Wow.
So we intend to go to all African countries, and that's why School of Growth Africa. It's an offshoot of Mr. Jeg's Africa.
Yes.
I have a podcast also on YouTube. So it's an offshoot of that.
Right.
So School of Growth Africa, passing knowledge, helping entrepreneurs to, and it's something that we have to do. The deficit is so much that we have to do quarterly. Before we wanted to do monthly, but it takes the logistical.
It's a well put together program. I must say. So it's a well put together program. The quality of faculty member, quality, everything. The events start on time and ended on time, and I must say, well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well done. I hope to be one of the facilitators at upcoming School of Growth Africa events. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Jegede,
thank you very much
for your time. Give us a parting shot for young and aspiring entrepreneurs that are listening to you, that are going into a business, just starting a business and want to scale up, which I see you're passionate about.
Okay. Parting shots will be: have a vision, write it down. And go hard at it. You have 24 hours. Make sure every waking moment is you pushing through. Because I told my team yesterday, I said, if you look back at last year and see how many stores we added and renovated, I'm like, wow, we did quite a number. But when we're doing it, it was tough because I wasn't taking no for an answer. I wasn't taking excuses. I always tell them, leave excuses outside the door. You're performing or not. I've apologized already to them in advance for this year, that when I step on their toes, they should know that we are doing it for a good cause, because we want to build a business that outlives us. So make sure every waking moment you're pushing. you're pushing towards a goal, because it will be worth it, right? Don't sacrifice family. Don't sacrifice good relationships, right? But make sure every waking moment, you're pushing towards something. It will be worth it. Get the required knowledge. Ask yourself, what is between me and my goal? Put everything down. This is the goal. It looks insane right now, but what is between me and my goal? Oh, this is the knowledge of this relationship, that. Oh, okay, that's all. Okay, how can I now take each item, take it out one after the other? By the time you're done piecing it, you just see that, wow, it was achievable. It was just breaking it down into cost elements or sacrifice elements or whatever it is, and seeing how you're better positioned, how you can make yourself best positioned to achieve it. That big goal is achievable. It may just need time. It may need you going hard at it. It may need you learning. So write the vision and have a vision, write the vision, get the knowledge required, and push as hard as possible, because time is currency. Time is currency. If you're wasting time, you're paying with your time to just faff. And imagine you are paying to not invest. I promise you, no dividends can be accrued to you in the future. So time is, you are paying, you are voting that, oh, as I'm faffing around, is what is. Imagine you're paying 50,000 per hour, or 50,000 per minute, to faff around. That's how important time is. So yes, that's my parting shot. It was a long one, but yes. I hope it was worth it.
Thank you everyone for listening. That was our episode with the enigmatic, the quintessential Mr. Samuel Jegede, Mr. Jegs Africa. I mean, this was a very, very mind-blowing and inspiring episode, if I might say so myself. Catch us on Instagram at coffee. Do I have forgotten? Catch us on Instagram, coffeeandbeans.pod, on Twitter, coffeebeanspod. Of course, send us an email. I mean, if you enjoyed this episode, you want to send us a comment, you have a question for Mr. Jack, send us an email, fanmail at coffeeandbeans.com. Till the next time we hear from you, Mr. Jegs, what's your IG handle? Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Jegs Africa.
Mr. Jegs Africa. Yes, that's MRJEGZZ Africa. Yeah. Till the next episode, drink coffee and stay inspired. Bye.